Many people have asked us about applying for U.S. citizenship. If you're a permanent resident and you've been a permanent resident for at least 5 years, or only 3 if you're married to a U.S. citizen and living in marital union with that U.S. citizen, you could file for citizenship. And we highly, highly recommend that you do so as soon as you're eligible, because then you never, ever have to deal with the U.S. Immigration Service ever again. And you could sponsor your family members to also come to the United States with green cards. So to apply for U.S. citizenship, you have to fill out an N-400 form. It's about a 28-page form with all kinds of questions about whether you're a criminal, communist, Nazi, terrorist, drug dealer, alien smuggler, or planning to violently overthrow the U.S. government. Assuming you're not any of those things and have been legally in the United States as a permanent resident for the requisite amount of time, you can file that N-400 with a check and proof of your permanent resident status. You file it with the Immigration Service. About 6 weeks later, you'll get an appointment for your fingerprints, your last fingerprints at the U.S. Immigration Service ever. But they're going to use that to run an FBI background check, make sure you're not a criminal, communist, Nazi, terrorist. Assuming that comes back clean, they're going to schedule you for an interview. At the interview, they will go over your application, make sure nothing has changed since you submitted it. They will also ask you any more questions. If you happen to answer yes to one of those questions, did you serve in the military? Do you have weapons training? Do you know how to make bombs? They might ask you some questions about that. Answer in very short, sweet sentences. Shouldn't cause a problem as long as you aren't planning to, blow anything up when you're here. Once you get through that interview, then you're going to be asked some questions about U.S. history and government. There's 100 most commonly asked questions that we give all of our clients to practice, and you can also get that on the USCIS website to practice that history and government questions. You'll also be asked to prove that you can read and write in English. You're going to have to write a sentence that the officer reads you. The president lives in the White House, or Abraham Lincoln was the president during the Civil War. Simple sentences like that. And then you get a sentence and you have to read a sentence in English. Again, very basic English sentences. You should be able to do that. If you pass the English test, pass the history and government test, and you are eligible, you can become a citizen as early as 2 or 3 months in some jurisdictions. Some jurisdictions are a little busier and they take longer, but you should be able to become a citizen before the next president takes the oath of office on January 20th. Definitely do it now. Contact World One Law Group and we can help.